Hey folks, Dan here, with the world's latest comic review. Promised this a while ago and I'm just now getting to it. With that being said, I won't waste any more time. Let's go. This time we're talking about RAGS number 6. That means, as the number implies, that this is the 6th book in this series, so if you're new to this, check out the issue 1 through 5 retrospective and review, which I'll link here and in the description below, which goes into detail about the premise, setting, and main characters. So now that we're all up to speed, let's get started. We start RAGS issue 6 by rejoining the two leads, Regina and Operator, as they demonstrate that inescapable axiom of the armed forces, which as far back as World War I has been described as months of boredom, punctuated by moments of extreme terror. At the moment they don't have anything to do and they're bored. This is a refreshingly human moment. So, after a leave no doubt plain English explanation for anyone who thought that young Riley was anything other than a dangerous simp stalker, you know, the kind of dude women rightfully run screaming from, they decide to go out looking for Operator's missing squad mates. As an aside, this panel in this sequence will kill you. I'm not going to spoil it by showing the whole thing, just pick up the book. So as Regina and Operator gear up to head out, we learn that Operator is conveniently armed to the teeth with what appear to be pristine, apparently never before been used weapons. It does seem like he's ridiculously well equipped, but pay attention and you'll notice a pattern that will eventually make sense, and which rewards rereads. So now that our two main characters are strapped with, conveniently, everything they need, the story picks up again. Our blue-haired Tumblrite returns with terrible news. The civilian scavenging party she was leading has run into it hard. After two Ghostbusters references in one panel, Operator agrees to accompany her, and off they go. Notice Walter Peck here has the finger all over that trigger where our ginger lead does not. This is deliberate, and has been the subject of many a conversation on social media. I think that the purpose of this disparity is to further illustrate how far apart these characters are. So after a terrible Hobbit joke that we don't get to see, the small party arrives at the spot, which is swarming with zombies. The sequence is masquerading as a plot point, but its true purpose is to serve as a step-off for the greatest action scene you're likely to see for some time in indie comics. With some glorious editorial fourth wall breaking, which calls to mind the man himself, we get this. This battle is every bit as fun as it looks, and if you take a moment to play the song while you read, you'll enjoy it all the more. Trust me, do it. You owe it to yourself. Can I also say that I believe this is the first genuinely sincere smile we've seen on Regina's face in the present time since the story began. It's nice to see, and I think it indicates a turning point for her psychologically. Unfortunately, what immediately follows is betrayal, violence, more violence, and brutal violence. Shortly after confirmation that our boy Operator is a shower, not a grower, we see more of that recurring thing I mentioned earlier that you should be spotting by now. You know, that thing which let Operator have whatever he needed or wanted, be it weapons, a unicorn speaker, or Gina waking up after taking an AK butt to the nose. So we're on a cliffhanger now, but it's earned. Our characters are in a wild spot, both tied up and in the all together, and things look pretty messed up. There's only one issue to go in this series, and there's a lot left to wrap up, but something tells me we're in for a treat. Tune into my upcoming review of issue 7 and we'll go on that journey together. So in summation, issue 6 is an absolute blast. We get fun dialogue, strong character moments, and camaraderie and banter that feels like the sort real people would actually engage in. We get conflict, suspense, tension, and action. We get to see Operator and Regina come together, and of course this scene. I also like this exchange between Riley and Operator. It's a nice touch. It's a good example of how men socialize. Show a little backbone and chances are you'll be let in. The art is god tier as indies go and as mainstream goes. Luigi's command of acting and expression hasn't stopped improving since this series started. His anatomy, blocking, and camera angles are as dynamic and exciting as can be done. I imagine having to draw a naked character for so long has greatly contributed to his command of anatomy. The colors by Raven are sharp, crisp, and gorgeous. If you want to see a creative team at the peak of their powers, RAGS is where you need to be. End of story. Fortunately, this story is not yet over. We have one more issue to go. I'll be reviewing that one soon. And by soon, hopefully I do not mean as long as this one took, but better late than never. Go check out this book. I'll leave links to all the ways you can support the team in the description below the video. Thanks for watching. Till next time, stay safe, stay sane.